What is going on, everybody? It is your favorite everything. This is JR Wisdom back at you with another episode of the Atlanta Noire podcast. And this evening, guys, I have a special guest, another YouTuber content creator here in the city of Atlanta, the beautiful city of Atlanta. And we're going to be talking about some fun and great things tonight. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you guys to the beautiful Miss Red. How you doing, Miss Red?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. How was the drive up here?
Honestly?
Yes.
It was bad.
It was bad?
It was horrible.
Sheesh. Goodness.
It was horrible. But
I'm glad you made it here safe,
I'm
though.
so glad. I was not going to miss it for the world.
Right.
I want to be here really bad. I'm so glad I made it.
Awesome. I'm glad you're here, too, and everything's safe. So we're going to go ahead and start at the beginning. So obviously, you're a fellow YouTuber. You're a content creator. A lot of the stuff you talk about is contemporary issues, relationship-inspired topics as well. But before we get into that more so, we're going to start with your origins. Where are you originally from?
I am from Missouri.
Now, you got to shout out what part of Missouri, because we got viewers from Missouri.
I'm from
St. Louis?
I'm from St. Louis.
Okay.
Not East St. Louis.
Yeah. East St. Louis.
Because people go, East St. Louis?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with East St. Louis. But yeah, St. Louis. But I've been here for over 30 years.
Over 30 years?
Yes,
Okay.
over 30 years. Because my daughter is 28, and I went to Clark. Shout out to Clark.
Shout out to
Clark,
Clark.
Atlanta. Got my first degree from Clark. So I've been here for a very long time. So right now, I honestly feel like I'm a Georgia peach.
Okay. I know that's right. Georgia Peaches. Shout out to all the Georgia Peaches
Georgia
for sure.
peach. If somebody asks me now, am I from Georgia? I honestly say yes.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody asks me, I say yeah. I'm a Georgia peach.
Got you. I feel you. So where does the name Miss Red come from?
It's a moniker that came from, this actually is funny. It came from when I was, you know, you go on dating sites and you give a silly name.
Right.
You don't want to put your real name on there. And I guess you could say you're light-skinned, clearly. And I guess I would say you're way lighter than me,
Right.
but I used it for that. Miss Red.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute. And then it just stuck with me. And then where I housed my studio, they started calling me that, and then it just kind of stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just started using it because we were going to have another name to use. And then they just started calling me that before we would start the podcast. And then it just stuck.
Mm.
And then I said, let's just use that for the Miss Red podcast show, and then branch off into the Red Room. And then we're branching off into other things.
Right.
And then having that Miss Red and having that be the focal point of the brand.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. And then the red lipstick, the red nails,
Hey,
you know.
you got it there. So what was life like growing up in St. Louis for you?
Let me backtrack a little bit when I say St. I only say St. Louis because it's easier. I'm from 2 hours from St. Louis,
Okay.
which is like a really small city that no one's ever heard of.
What is it?
Jeff City.
Jeff City.
No one's ever heard of it. That's why I always
Okay.
say St. Louis,
Yeah.
but it's 2 hours from there.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Do you think so?
2 hours is a long way.
But
Yeah.
I still have family there.
Nah, I feel you.
Yeah, but I'm
Jeff
like,
City.
people are like, where? I'm like, St. Louis.
Yeah.
You know. But people don't know Jeff City is actually the capital of Missouri.
Oh, Jefferson City. Oh, okay. My
Oh,
bad.
you heard of it?
Yeah, I heard of Jefferson
People
City.
have
Yeah.
never- people-
I'm sitting up here thinking like you talking like something crazy. When you say Jeff City, I was just like,
That's what we call it.
you know.
Yeah,
But my bad. Yeah, I'm not from. Yeah.
That's
you
what
know.
we call it.
We
So
had-
that's where
we-
I'm from.
I had a young lady on episode. She's like, I'm from Lansing, Michigan. I said, oh, the capital? She's like, you know that's the capital? I'm like, yeah, it's the
You'd
capital.
be surprised.
You know what I mean?
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised. I have heard. That's why I just stopped saying it, honestly.
Right.
But yeah, that's actually where I was born. But my family is my mother. She's passed away. God rest her soul. Love you, mom. But her sisters and stuff are still in St. Louis. But yeah, but we would go back and forth a lot. But it was good. But the city where I'm from is a lot of, how can I say, people that will vote red.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should just leave it there.
I got you. I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people will vote red, but you and I would be okay
Yeah.
because the color of our skin.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that going on when I was young. It was very bad.
I've heard things about Missouri.
Hell yeah.
So
It was bad. I didn't get.
got you.
I didn't have a bad time, but I saw a lot of people not be treated right because of the color of their skin. I was like floored by that.
What were you like? What type of student were you? How were you in high school?
I felt that I did not give my best. I look back on it because honestly, the kind of mom that I am with my own child, the way that she's excelled in all of these sports, being a professional athlete, I'm like, why didn't I do that? Because why am I like a loser when it comes to sports? Because my daughter was such a phenomenal athlete in multiple sports. Why did my mom push me like that? Because I was tall, had to build, that kind of stuff. But I didn't gravitate towards that. Plus, she wasn't a mom like me. I was that mom. But I probably should have did volleyball. Honestly, I guess could have seen myself doing that. I didn't really. I just did like the majorette kind of a thing. I did band.
Okay.
I actually played cello and I played flute. And I've always had a really nice shape.
Okay. Continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought about that until I look at old pictures. 'Cause my daughter was looking for some pictures, do that challenge.
Yeah.
And-
Breaking my heart challenge.
Yeah, and I was like, and I thought I was fat, but just always had a nice shape.
Right.
Wasn't even trying or anything. Yeah. So no, I had glasses. I was tall than
How
everyone
tall
else.
are you? Because you said you was tall a few times for the people like that's probably
I
women.
am. Okay.
Because we had this conversation offline, but go ahead. Yeah.
If anyone asks me, I say I'm 6 feet. If I stand up right now, I'm way taller than him. Don't look at my shoes.
She ain't showing her boots, but we had a conversation offline, guys, because I'm 6 foot. I don't have on, and I don't care. I'll show you my feet.
He has nice feet.
These guys try to roast me about having socks on. I'm like, yo, they don't see the carpet. You know what I mean? Anyway, she's got on some good 3-4 inch thigh high or hip high stiletto boots that she got on here. So she's probably 6'2" or 6'3", probably 6'2" right now. But I'll give you, like I told you, I'll give you 6 foot. I'll give you 6 foot. She's tall for a woman, for sure. You know,
I'm definitely a unicorn. I walk in, people notice.
that's what type of student you were, or the type of, I don't want to say kid, but growing up. What happened? You graduate, and what did you come directly to Georgia? Or what happened?
I went to Lincoln University for 1 year.
Okay.
Which is in Jeff City. But I had a crazy stalker
Okay.
that would not stop coming to my family home and throwing rocks. Like hey, come outside. My mom and stepdad were like, you need to leave.
Right.
You need to explore. Which didn't find, not leave the house, just you need to get for your safety. And I was thinking about leaving anyway because the goal was to go to Lincoln for 2 years and then transfer anyway. So I applied to Clark, Spelman, Howard, and I forgot where else, but I heard from Clark first and Powell, and been gone ever since.
Right.
Yeah, and that was in 93.
93.
Right during the Freaknik time. Yeah, and I'm just glad that I didn't do anything because I had a child 3 years later. But coming out with the movie.
Yeah.
People say people are sweat.
Yeah.
The kids are gonna see it. People now got careers and jobs and everything.
So you was getting busy during that time? or
No, I wasn't really. Cause at school. I was at college up here. I was definitely a nerd because I would definitely because I was by myself.
Right.
So I didn't want to get caught up and get scared.
Gotcha.
I mean, from a small town to up here. I was like, with this body, I didn't know what to do.
So when we're gonna rewind for a second. So you obviously had this stalker. Were you one of those girls in high school that like all the dudes was just trying to get, or were you just kind of like in a shell back then?
I would say I was a virgin all through high school. So I would say yes, but it's not happening.
Right.
'Cause I went to all the dance. I went to prom all through high school. Went to prom as a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Now, once the dance is over, you're taking me home.
Right.
Now, once you take me home, the hoe is over there.
I know that's right.
My mom said I gotta be home at whatever time, but the pretty girl going to the prom with the pretty dress, with the pictures, but take me home. I have a curfew. Now, go get all the other stuff. The hoe is over there, but I'm going home. So that's what happened. So I went to prom all 4 years, and I've remained a virgin all through high school. And that's why I think that it's interesting, because people think when you're pretty,
You for the streets.
you're for the streets. But it's like, when you're pretty, you ain't got to do nothing.
Facts.
You ain't got to do nothing.
Facts.
Duh, it's the ones that are ugly that got to do everything. And excuse me for saying that word, but it's the truth.
No, you're right.
I'm just saying, you ain't got to do nothing. Unless you want to. If you want to. And usually, the girl who got to make good coochie decisions, it's like she was saying, if you want to. But they make it so annoying. You're so annoying. It's like, I don't want to do it with nobody now.
So you went to Clark. What was your undergrad in?
My undergrad degree is in pre-law poli-sci. And then I went back some years later and have a master's in education with a concentration in special ed.
Got you. You graduate?
In 90, from what, undergrad?
Yeah.
In 98? Was my undergrad.
So you were dating in college, though?
I had my daughter's father. We were together as soon as I met him, we were together.
Right off top.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah.
So for you didn't have much dating experience, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I had
there's nothing...
I had a couple, I dated a couple, because he played basketball, so I dated a couple of other people. But that I was on lockdown.
I got you.
And I was like, I think about it now, I'm like, that was rude. That was really rude.
Shot club up while you was in college.
That was rude of you to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it because you treated me well, treated me good. But I'm like, because he's older than me, so I didn't think much of it. But now I'm like,
he was in college too?
No.
He wasn't?
He's 12 years older than me.
Oh, when you said he played basketball, that's why
He was retired by then.
Okay.
Yeah, he was definitely old.
Retired, like professional?
Okay. You're like overseas and stuff.
Overseas, got you. Okay. That's what's up. Okay. You said your daughter was born in 96?
96.
96, okay.
And she has an older brother that's 10 years older than her.
Okay.
So her brother's 38.
Got you. Okay. But that's not your...
No.
Okay. Got it.
And what's weird, they have the same face. So weird.
Yeah.
Just
I know that's right. So you have your daughter. Do you immediately go into teaching, or what is it?
No, this is years later.
Yeah.
'Cause I was stay-at-home mom. I was dealing with just her volleyball, basketball, track,
So
PTA.
how long were you a stay-at-home mom?
Until I think she was in middle school.
Wow, so about 12, 13 years?
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's been
middle
so
school,
long.
yeah, that's 11, 12, about 12 years, yeah.
Because I started working at the school and she was down the street. So yeah, it was like middle school.
Wow, so you were, okay.
I was just chilling.
Got it.
I was just chilling. But the thing is, the flip side to that is I feel like I gave my all.
Right.
But then as I sit back now, did I get back what I put in? I question that. Did I get back what I put in? So
When you say that, you talking about with her father, or you talking about just raising her, just giving up your career to raise your daughter?
With my daughter, yeah. I question that because I'm like, because as far as kids appreciating the kid, because it's almost like for them, they already have parents that are like, that do everything for them. And when you we as adults know all parents aren't like that.
Yeah.
Some parents could give a rat's ass about their kids. And when kids have parents who give their all, they're so used to it, it's second nature. And it's, do you know all parents aren't like that?
You don't know what you don't know unless you got friends that aren't as lucky or whatever.
Yeah.
You were with you were with your child's father throughout this time. And
Yeah, off and on breaking up and all that, but for the most part, yeah, because I really wasn't about that. All bebopping around with my child.
right.
Yeah, we wasn't
So
about that.
you really, like, in terms of, you really didn't have much dating experience other than you just being in this relationship with him at that time.
Yeah, 'cause I was in my 20s, so
Yeah.
not really, because Nikki really took up most of my time. You know, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this is why now I'm really big on F them kids, fuck them kids, because I really get a chance to live my life in my younger
And that's
years.
what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting from you. I was going to ask you, do you feel like you kind of, and I know you said you felt like it wasn't appreciated to a certain extent, but do you feel like you gave away your youth?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 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 And yeah, I do. And I feel like, fuck them kids. That's why even now, I won't even date a man that got kids under 25. And if we got grandkids, them grandkids better have both parents because they not coming over here. I'm just saying, I don't want no responsibilities like that. Like, I'm dead ass, because I just don't.
You had her at 21?
Like, just turned 22, I think.
Okay, so
That's
you were
young.
like 40 when she was grown. Turned 18.
Yes, because she's 28 now and I'm
Yeah.
50.
Got you.
And I had another serious situation when Nikki was in high school age. We broke up, obviously, because we met before she was born. We were together for 3 years. But yeah, but the thing is, the youth was gone, and that's not what I've raised her. I'm raising her to be married, have your kids within your marriage,
Right.
and that's not even always perfect, because now what I'm seeing is these men that age are full of shit.
What age?
Her age, that early 20s. She's 28, so that 25, 30s. They're not about shit. They don't even know what's going on. They are driven off of sex. Don't have any money. Don't have it up here. They're not intelligent. They don't even know what's going on. So they're not even, it's like, there's no way I would even talk to anybody if I was a girl now. Any of them. That's why I've always liked older men.
Yeah.
For that, even back then when I was that age, I didn't like men that age.
Right.
That's why.
But now what's funny is they try to shame men for dating younger women. Everything you said, I get where you're coming from, because I do believe in your 20s to get married, because I got married when I was 19.
Okay.
So I already know what it is that you're talking about.
How old was your wife at the time?
Same age.
Okay.
So you don't know what you want. You don't know yourself. You don't know, and you still have things. You can come across people. You can come across other things, and you just don't know. You're not prepared to live that type of life as far as settling down. And as far as a woman, that may be what she wants, and a lot of times she doesn't know what she wants early on. But now there's a culture, it's obviously women, who shame men for dating younger women that's in their 20s when a man is in his late 30s, early 40s. But a lot of times what you just said, that's typically what happens, because he's already secure. He's financially stable a lot of times, or
Right.
should be financially stable, and he's able to do things for her that a dude her age really can't do.
Exactly. And nowadays it seems like the being faithful part and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Unless, now this is a whole other topic that I won't go into, because this could go on.
For sure.
Like Cam Newton, someone like him. He is a great example of, he's a handsome guy, he's attractive, he's a millionaire, but he will never commit to anyone until he's ready to commit,
Right.
no matter who it is. But women are going to continue to keep having babies with him because he's rich.
Right.
He's a provider. He's handsome. he's a great father, but lack of commitment is still there. So for me, that wouldn't work for me. So for me, so the thing is, so it's hard to try to, so nowadays, I just think it's just real shitty right now. I just don't think the dating world is good right now. So I feel like for me, it's not well. Because I mean, I've never been married before, but I had a broken engagement. I know your last young lady you had on here, she found out some really horrible things. Right. When she said that, I was like, she just immediately caught my attention. Because same thing with me. Found out some horrible.
What'd you find out, Ms. Red? What happened?
Okay, so with my ex-fiance, which I hope is watching this podcast.
Not your child's father.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, no.
Okay,
no.
go ahead.
Because this was recent.
This is recent. Okay.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Got engaged in Milan in Switzerland.
Okay.
This is like this last young lady. She had a out of country.
Yeah. Santorini. Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter at the time was playing basketball in Switzerland.
Okay.
So he kind of incorporated to be able to stop and see my daughter on the way while we're there.
Proposed to you.
Yeah. So he proposed to me in Milan, in front of the El Dumour. El Dumour. It's lovely. Okay. So with divorce, which is kids are in. Two of them were already out of college. One was a senior in college. My daughter was already out of college. She has her master's degree. My daughter's out of college, playing basketball professionally. But how are you 60, but you owe your ex-wife money? Like, she's coming at you, you're a vice president. You're a vice president, but you owe her money. And I didn't even know that. At my house, it's coming, what do you call it? Not a cease and desist, a warrant for your arrest.
Y'all were living together?
Yeah, in my house.
He was, okay.
In my house, because we're going to get another house.
Okay.
Because his marital house, they sold it.
Got you.
Yeah, so that. But the thing is, the finances were not what I thought. Like, I was like.
So let's put this in perspective. So he proposes to you in Switzerland. You come back, and obviously you don't know any of this stuff is going on. And one day you just get a letter in the mail?
Well, I knew that they had a divorce before I came along. I knew that at the time, the housing market wasn't the greatest. I knew they were going to lose in that house, not lose.
So he wasn't divorced?
He was divorced, but the house was still having a hard time selling.
Oh, selling. Okay, gotcha.
But they were
That's part of the agreement, yeah.
But that house was still having a piece of shit house. It was a piece of shit house. When it's a piece of shit house,
right?
It's a piece of shit house.
So it's having a hard time selling. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was also a problem definitely was when going through that, divorce was over, but the reason for his divorce was because he cheated with someone, many people, and that caused contention with his children to hate him. So then here I come along, hey, with myself. So of course, hate me initially because I'm over here.
You might be one of them chicks he was, yeah.
Well, they knew I wasn't that.
Yeah.
But I'm over here, fling, fling.
Yeah.
My flashy self.
Right.
Their mother's not. Really, like, plain.
Reserved, yeah.
No, not reserved. Plain and just not attractive and fat, all that stuff.
Okay. Continue.
And
yeah.
so and then, of course, pictures are being posted of him and I going all these places and everything. But then you still owe her money. So I guess it's like, how you gonna take this bitch everywhere, but you owe me money?
Facts. Yeah.
So it was like, I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was like, so I'm thinking we just taking pictures. Snap.
Yeah.
Snap. And of course, I'm looking sharp. That's making somebody mad. And then that caused them to go to court. And then I'm like, wait, what is happening? So yeah, it just went from this to this.
So what was the final straw? Obviously, you said he was getting this stuff in the mail. What was the final straw for you?
That.
It was just constantly harassment, not harassment, but just.
Somebody's gonna say they're gonna take you to court. Either him, if he didn't get that money together to pay that lump sum, he's gonna go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's big. Because
Yeah.
in a divorce decree, it was something divorce decree that was protecting where he was going to go to jail, and he had to borrow the money from a friend, and so it's not good at financial management. Rather go to a Georgia game and spend your last dollar there
Then give it to her.
than give it to anything. Just
Yeah.
not responsible financially. You're too
So,
old.
so why you ain't helped them out?
I'm allergic to any of that. I mean,
You supposed to be that man help
he
me.
spent a lot of money on me. I don't know what happened. What happened?
You know. Because when he wasn't as financially savvy, you could have came in and said, "Hey,
That's not where this is going.
no."
That's not where this is going. That's not where this was
Oh
going.
man. So you just cut it, and then that was that. Did he let it go when you just cut it?
Oh, he had to, because I mean, the thing is, then the whole pathetic thing is, then you lose, then your car breaks down, your Mercedes, your old Mercedes, and then you can't get your car out the shop. Just the things are just happening that I'm just like,
Domino effect.
I
Yeah.
don't understand what's happening here. We had a wedding was scheduled to be in. It was what do you call the weddings over on an island?
Mm-hmm.
What do you call those? Oh, destination wedding.
Destination wedding,
that was
yeah.
being planned. This was all being planned, but it was a no-go. So I understand what that young lady was talking about. You like, wait, what? The difference is she should have known he was only a teacher. He wasn't even making the funds. I don't know. This guy was a vice president. He's always been a vice president for like 20-something years. He wasn't good at financially. I mean, I don't understand how she stayed married to him for 20-something years. Do you know why she stayed married? Because they had 3 kids. He cheated out of all them years. He probably cheated 20 of the years. But you stayed married, I guess, because it looked good in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But your self-esteem got every year got lower and lower. And then when he got a new fiance, he upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
He upgraded. And he probably thought he wasn't going to upgrade then because he cheated. He just cheated with whatever. You know, when y'all cheat,
What he could get. Yeah.
when y'all cheat, why do y'all do that? Cheat with just whatever. Just to have your rocks off?
Hey, I got to get this thing up off me. I'm not saying, I'm just speaking from the perspective of why they be cheating.
Dang,
You know
you a
what I'm
man
saying?
too. I don't understand why y'all do that.
I don't be cheating. I have a hard time getting women as it is, so I don't be cheating. So
You have a hard time getting women.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I have a hard time getting women. You can't keep a woman's attention these days. It's
No, based
hard.
on what you and the guy, what's his name, Marcus?
Mm-hmm.
Based on the way you and him were speaking in your last interview, absolutely not.
Absolutely not what?
Absolutely not. Not speaking that way, absolutely not. Unless you want somebody who's unattractive.
I know how to talk to women.
No, the way you and him were talking. He said, because he's fine. He said, I ain't taking nobody on no date. I ain't taking nobody on no, I ain't know nobody.
Let me clarify that,
Sounds
right?
so.
That's Marcus' perspective. I was listening to him. I was asking his advice. I'm all for that, taking a woman on a date, because I like to go out myself. I mean,
Just have nice little.
yeah, I like,
conversation.
because I'm a conversationalist.
Me
So,
too.
you know, I like to talk. I like to have a good time. But I think when I meet a woman, and I think this goes for anybody, but mostly women, because a woman will never be lonely, for one, because she constantly has men trying to talk to her. If she's lonely, she could just pull out that phone. She don't even have to go anywhere and just say, "Hey, would you like to talk?" Some random dude, and dude be like, "Yeah, I'll talk."
You want to talk.
So a woman constantly has an abundance of men that she can talk to, right? So unless she really likes you or you got some skin in the game, then, but a lot of times when you come across a woman, she may be, her and her boyfriend got in an argument. She ain't talking to her boyfriend currently, or she's in between relationships. She's talking to a few different guys. She just needs something to do for the night, or she really just trying to get laid. And it's just for you. She don't want to come out and say it. It's just for you to actually push it to that point, to actually do that. So that's been my experience with women. I don't think women, because there's so many dudes trying to talk to women, they can't really take when a woman knows who she likes and it's a certain type of dude, and he may not be the best dude for her, and she knows that, but she'll rock with that dude because it's something about this dude. But when you're starting fresh with a woman and you're taking a woman out on a date, I've been on 2-3 dates with a woman, and she'll go out with me on these dates. She'll be happy because she gets to dress up, gets to be
We
pretty.
all love to dress
yeah,
up.
women love to dress up. She gets to dress up, be pretty. She don't have to pay for anything. She just shows up. And then the moment you try to, you can really tell when a woman likes you. The moment you try to pivot to something more serious, women will flake or they'll come up with an excuse or whatever like that. And that's when you can tell a lot of times when a woman's not into you. So what I mean is, I feel like for those more expensive dates is reserved for that woman that you're dealing with, that really rocks with you, that really likes you. And you can tell, because I've made that mistake of taking women out that don't really like me. They just want to be
Well, how do
seen.
you know they didn't like you?
You can tell when a woman likes you. You can tell how a woman, when she talks, if a woman calls you, if a woman interacts with you, if a woman asks you how you doing, if a woman wants to meet up and see you.
Well, are you calling her? Did you gotta? Are you not calling the? Are you calling somebody? Why she gotta do all? Why don't you call somebody?
It's a tennis match.
Ping pong, back and forth.
And it's not like that with a lot of women. A lot of women don't do that. A lot of women, it's just you constantly serving. It's you constantly serving. Not to say that she won't respond. And a lot of times, if it's just lukewarm, you go on to the next one. That's been my experience with women.
Well, I think, honestly, I think it's because of what if they seen you on your podcast or on your shows.
We're not talking about none of that. We're not talking. We're not even talking about a podcast. Why would you go out with somebody if you watch them on a podcast and you don't like what they say?
No, I'm saying because of your demeanor will come across as fuck these hoes.
Why would you go out with me if that's the case?
Because your demeanor will. With Marcus, I was looking at the TV like this. What? Marcus, I was looking at you and him like this. You were like facts.
I agree with a lot of stuff you were saying though.
With him.
I agree with a lot of, because I agree with, if a woman really likes you, you don't have to do all that stuff.
He was talking about
getting ass.
That's what he was talking about.
What's the context of getting ass?
Facts.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying, what was the context?
He was saying something to the effect that he said, I am not doing anything else but buying somebody a hot tea, a coffee.
I don't expect that now. I think you at least, not to say it can't happen off of that, I'll at least, if I like you, I'm going to take you to dinner or something.
Well, let me phrase it. He said that. I guess okay, let me give him a little credit.
And I don't know what women fucking off of a cup of coffee, but I'm not to say it can happen, but go ahead.
Let me rephrase that.
I'm not saying it can't happen, but
right.
Yeah.
I guess what he was saying was he wants. Can't remember what you were saying, so let me probably give him a little credit. He was saying he would only want to spend some dollar bills on a date with someone he's already had relations with.
Some men feel that way.
I guess that makes sense. That's what he was trying to say.
Some men feel that way because women will waste your time. You shouldn't go on multiple dates with a guy you don't like. That's just, you shouldn't go on a second date if you don't like the guy.
Wait a minute, so you can't date some. Okay, how about this? Can you go on a date? Can you go on a vacation with somebody as friends? That is a great question. Can you go on? Okay, let's say we're just friends.
Men and women can't be friends.
Wait a minute. So you saying you cannot be friends with a female and say, hey girl, you know what? We're just friends.
Hey
platonic.
girl. Just how you just said that. Hey girl. Go ahead.
You can't be friends with somebody and say, hey, let's go on a trip together and no sex, platonic, and just go on a trip. You're not married. She's not married. You're not married. You're not in a relationship with anyone.
Why are we going together?
Because y'all are friends. Just friends.
And
y'all can talk. See how we talking, vibing? You can't talk to everybody.
Miss Red, I think you've been around long enough to know ain't no man going on a trip with you that he can go on with a woman that he really wants to be with.
I had somebody recently ask me, did I want to go on a trip?
Okay. Continue.
And I said, absolutely.
Continue.
And we have not had sexual relations.
Did you go on a trip with him?
I told him I want to go to Turks and Caicos.
And you don't think he wants some buns?
We're not doing that.
You're saying that. Some dudes will do that. Some dudes will do that, and then who's paying your own way?
No.
You gotta be kidding me.
This person's a business person.
I don't give a F. I'm not taking no. You mean to tell me I'm paying for some woman to?
I ain't some woman.
I'm paying for my friend.
Exactly.
I'm paying for my friend.
We're gonna have a great time.
To accompany
We're gonna
me,
have a great time.
And we're not gonna have sex.
Do I need to call this person and let them let's say, look, are we gonna plan a vacation and we're not gonna have sex?
I don't think you should put them on the spot like that.
I bet you to tell you that people can do it. I'm just trying to make a point. He ain't gotta say his name or nothing, but people can do it. A handsome man, got businesses, owns companies. I guess you say a catch. Yeah. We are friends.
So why don't you pay your own way then?
He's the kind of person where if we will go out, I wouldn't mind paying for some stuff.
I'm talking about the trip though. Why aren't you paying?
Oh, he volunteered.
I'm just saying, why don't you volunteer to pay?
He already volunteered. He asked me about the trip. Because, actually, he went to Europe this summer, and he was come on my podcast, and he's supposed to do it, like, from Europe and do it like a, what do you call it, live?
Live stream. Yeah.
Live stream. So I had 4 guests lined up. Two of them had an emergency, so one person showed up, and he didn't show up because, the time difference. So, so he probably feels guilty about that, but I tease him about it, but yeah, but I've had trips paid for, and nothing happened.
They didn't even attempt.
No. That's already established. See, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the type of woman we talking about, because you got women out here having sex for McDonald's.
I just can't see me paying a trip of getting a woman or flying a woman out to do anything with me and sex is not involved.
But that whole flued out thing, I don't even. That's so. Who's doing that? Who's getting flued out just for sex?
A lot of women. A lot of women. So I get it. If that's what he does, shout out to bro. If he does that,
I ain't think it'd be
because I'm paying. That's you like my woman. If I'm paying for you to accompany me like that,
that's somebody that I would consider dating. Yes, but what was that look for?
So if he came on to you,
but we already had that. If you already have it established up front,
how did y'all have this established up front? You just said, "Hey, by the way, we're going on this trip, but you're not gonna get none." Is that how it went?
We know we're friends because we don't want to. Because we're gonna do business together. We're gonna open up some businesses together as well. So we don't want to cross that line because businesses are importante.
Yeah.
And they have a younger child. He has a younger child.
I agree with if you're doing business with a woman, yeah, definitely.
Right. We don't want to cross that line.
Don't do that, but I'm not going to fly her out somewhere either.
And they have a young child.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
The young child.
But you just said you would date him, though.
It's definitely a person that's dateable. That's why I was telling you about that. Met the trans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's pivot here. We just talked about some of your dating situations right there. So what was it like? Obviously, you and your daughter's father were no longer together. What was it like initially getting back out there in the dating world, out here in Atlanta? What was that like?
Back then,
Yeah.
It wasn't so bad. Back then, it was still pretty decent because I had relationships then.
Was this the late 90s or early 2000s?
2000s.
Yeah.
It was still okay. It didn't start getting bad until, I would say, in the last few years, where it's horrible. Like now, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Awful. Like it is awful. But yeah, so yeah, it was still okay back then because I had some serious things that were serious.
So you were a serial monogamous. Or whatever.
That's all. I'm not good at
Juggling.
dating like most people.
So Ms. Red, you never had a starting five.
I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
Now, when I was younger, I gotta make sure I'm not trying to say no names.
Yeah, definitely don't say no
I'm
names.
not saying no names.
Yeah.
You would definitely know these names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm trying to just say no names.
Yeah, no, you can say But we talking without saying names. You can say what it is you're
So
trying to say. You know.
it just was never. It's never fun to me because the thing is, I realize I don't like everybody. So when I like somebody, just to hang out with them and with no shoes on and watching a movie, or you can laugh with somebody.
For sure.
That is priceless.
Instead of a bunch of people trying to do that.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I just, especially when you're a person that men gravitate towards.
Right.
You ain't gotta be like, hey, move, pick me. I've never been a pick me like that.
Right.
I've always been the kind of person or the kind of female. I mean, I'm not even trying to sound a certain way. I'm just being honest. When I walk into a room, I'm walking into a room.
Okay.
And everybody is going to see. I'm not trying to sound arrogante. I'm just speaking in the truth.
Mm-hmm. What you say, arrogante?
Arrogante.
Okay.
I know
French. That's right.
That's French.
I feel you. Yeah.
So I'm just saying. So I'm just being honest. So when I walk in, people gonna look and notice.
Mm-hmm.
I make a little commotion.
Mm. Obviously, you never had an issue, but you prefer to be in relationships rather than dating.
And people are very surprised by that because I know I can be somewhat intimidating. So the kind of man that I get is are very strong men because the men that I get are extremely successful because you have to be to even approach me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't deal with just some random Joe Schmo off the side of the road. That's not even attractive to me at all anyway. But now I think it's funny when those guys try to talk to me. I'm like, now, like damn well. Now those guys when you be on them dating sites, now you know damn well, brother, you ain't got no teeth in your mouth. What you doing? Now you know damn well. But so the men that do come at me are usually the ones I end up being with because those are the ones that know that we are compatible usually. Because everybody doesn't try to talk to me because I feel like everybody will look, but they're too scared to approach.
Got you.
Or they're too. I'm definitely not a mean person, but if you are not a very confident person, you'll look. I remember my ex-fiance and his best friend. I said, y'all so lame. Now, his best friend was a partner at one of these up here. I'm not even gonna say the company.
Yeah.
The only black in that company. He was kind of a nerdy or whatever. Now, my ex-fiance was like more of the cool side. Vice president, very much but didn't have nearly as much money. But we would go out together. We both look like Beyonce and Jay-Z, honey. We getting it. We looking like what is it? What's the pastor's name? Miss Carrie and Pastor Jamal Bryant. You know how good they look.
Yeah.
We getting it, honey. Okay. When it came down to it, like when they go out, people more gravitate towards my fiance because of his personality. Now, his best friend had a lot of money, but he was very like quirky. He ended up having a girlfriend, but he kept her. She was like a retired model, but he kept her kind of like off to the side. Never really brought her around or anything like that. Which I thought was odd. But we knew of her. We would go back to his house. He had a big old house or whatever. We'd go play in the pool and stuff. But I thought it was odd. But he used to sit back with my fiance when they would be at like dinner parties for the company, and they would pick out. They would tell me this after the fact because they noticed that when I would walk in, people were looking at me. They sat back and saw me walk to the restroom. Everybody was like looking at me. They will call it gold. A girl who's the gold dress. I said, what's the gold dress? That means the best looking girl in the room. So they've never had that. I guess they never had that in their lives because their ex-wives were never that.
Gotcha.
They were never that. So his girlfriend he had now was that, and then I was that. Yeah.
How important is looks to you? Is a man's looks?
Is a man's looks?
Yeah, how
To me?
to you?
Now, it doesn't matter. It's funny you say that. I have a picture of my phone that I said I gotta show him when I get here. I went to Sam's today to get some gas, and I took a picture of a guy that had a wedgie.
Okay.
It's a,
You just go pull out your phone and say,
I
let
did.
me take a picture of this.
Because, oh my God, I Grace started sweating because I was gonna laugh so hard. Because at this point in time in my life, the man does not need to have on no name brand. No, I don't even care about. I've never cared about that, but I've always, because usually they're shallow and so into themselves that they are like disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really cared about looks, like aesthetically. I've never cared about looks per se. If you dress well, great. If you don't, great. Like my ex-boyfriend before my ex-fiance was not a dresser at all, and that was fine. We just didn't look the same. He was not at all.
Right.
My ex-fiance was a dresser, but he was an idiot. But daughter's father was a dresser. Obviously, that didn't matter. And I even told my daughter, I said, what you're looking at now in men, that's going to change. Because she likes the six-pack and all that stuff, the light skin and all that stuff. I said, you ain't gonna care about that, girl, at some point.
You think a woman's preference changes?
Absolutely.
You think so? Mm-hmm. I've had conversations with women about that, and I think, I'm not saying that you're lying, but I think a lot of times I just feel like the preference doesn't. I think you settle over time. I don't think your preference changes. If you like the guy, a certain type of dude in your 20s, if you could have that same guy in your 30s and 40s, more stability, then you would be with him. But I think you settle for stability as you get older. And the same thing, like a lot of women will say looks, and I believe that. I tell guys all the time, women don't care about looks that much. It's not that they be like, yeah, you gotta have this, you gotta have. I was like, you don't have to have none of that for women at all. So that's why I asked you about the looks thing. You know,
I don't care
Yeah.
about. I care about more if a man is a provider, stable, father figure. If he has children, or what kind of husband is he? What kind of provide? All that kind of stuff. What matters
Exactly.
to me, because even me being a woman that has dated older men when I was younger, I know how I'm supposed to be treated.
Yeah.
So that's all that I know, and I think that's been a double-edged sword for me too. So for me, because my first real boyfriend has been older. For me, if you're not if you're treating me well, means you're always doing nice things for me. Meaning, I equate that with you like me a lot, which is does that materialistic? Because in my mind, 'cause I remember one time on a date with my daughter's father years ago. This is back years ago, way before I even had my daughter. And I was going to my purse to get some lipstick. He was like, "While you're around me, don't you ever go in your purse?" I was getting lipstick. He thought I was going to get cash. I was going to get lipstick. The point is, so don't you ever go in your purse when you're ever around me. So in my mind, men are supposed to always pay. Now, of course, when you're in a relationship, okay, babe, I got it, whatever. But when you're first getting to know each other, and I had an episode about that, do men always pay? And I referenced two men, Yada Awakening and the Papi Chulo, which those are two strong brothers right there. Two strong brothers. And I agree. Their wives got it made in the shade. Made in the shade.
Yeah, that's been a big
Been a
conversation.
yes.
But I don't need to ask you because you just said what your thoughts are on it, on that whole situation, that 50-50 situation. So,
Oh, yeah.
and there was a big debate recently with Anton
Oh,
and
and Yada.
Yeah, about that whole 50-50 thing. It is what it is. But dating, do you have, other than that one you said earlier, dating in Atlanta? Because a lot of people have these horror stories. Do you have any of these crazy stories that a lot of ladies be coming up with? with any of these guys that you have dated here in Atlanta? Because it seemed like from your experience, these all were secure, solid provider type dudes, but not to say that they can't be, you know.
So far, I guess knock on wood. But now I feel like since this last fiance, I haven't had anything serious since then.
Got you.
Just, and I'm not even really. I've gone on a couple dates here and there, but not really focused on my business.
Got you.
Trying to build my podcast, on my YouTube, my real estate company, my media company, and everything with the studio. So not really focused on that. Like one time, not one time, but people who send me messages, like one person said something like to the effect of, "Hey, can you send me? He goes pictures of me. You're so pretty. You're so attractive. Can you send pictures of yourself?" And then when I didn't, "Oh my God, you're so rude. I can't believe you send pictures of me. So of yourself." I was like, okay, see, block. Anybody got time for this? Okay, what?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? First of all, I didn't ask of your pictures to be sent to me. And then because I didn't send anything to you, you're going to sit there and like, try to go off on me? See, you're crazy. So I'm just not interested. And then it seemed, then it's been on the down low and then all that. So then the ones who are, it's just too much. That's why I'm like, I hate to speak it, but at this point, honestly, I am literally thinking about being bi-coastal. Moving, or just saying forget it and moving to somewhere overseas. That's why I tell my daughter, I don't know what you complaining about, girl. When she be over there, I feel she gets really homesick. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? Go, girl. I would be living it up over there because she was in London. She got cut from her team, but she just came back like maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm like, girl, she's been in Romania, Switzerland, Greece,
Right.
and all these different teams. She's been playing for the last 5 years. But she gets homesick. I'm like, so I'm thinking about moving and going over. Not really sure where yet. Maybe Dubai, possibly. Turks and Caicos, maybe. This is not. I don't know if I leave the States, I wouldn't just leave Atlanta. I would leave the whole thing.
You leave the whole country.
I'll leave it. Yeah. My time maybe time to go.
I feel you.
I'm 50, almost 51. This last fiance, probably that right there is just too much.
So you're not really pressed at this point as far as dating. You just about getting your business together and everything.
I mean, let me tell you what I would love to do. This is what I'm saying. This is what other races do it. I just don't think that we do it a lot. And I don't understand why. And I hate it. Because I'm an educator, and I work in an environment where I'm a minority, which is fine. Because I get along with everybody. And they seem to, like, they've been on their second and third marriage. The stepkids get along. The ex-wives get along. The second wife get along. Everybody get along and work together for the common good of everybody getting along to move on with life. And it doesn't seem like we can seem to do that. And everyone just, life moves on. So for me, what would be a really good scenario for me is if I could have my husband, somebody, a best friend, a husband, that we build a business together and was able to grow together, and then we make our millions together. That would be great. I think it's great when you see people like who build together like that. I think that is phenomenal. If you get that, people who fuck that up, excuse my language, Mom, forgive me, I'm sorry. They are crazy. But because that's rare. But if you get it, you should probably hang on to it because it's rare if you can get it. Because you can meet a lot of people in this world, but it's not many people you can meet and click with.
Yeah.
You can't click with everybody because I don't even like everybody like that. Not like that. The click. It's the click part. You can meet a lot of people, but do you click with everybody? Do you like everybody? Being around that person and being around people. Were you comfortable and you can laugh with them and joke with them and just like being around them? Some
Right.
things you just cannot purchase. You cannot buy. You just
For sure.
cannot buy. And to be with someone like that and to grow with someone and build your life with them. And you hope it's in your younger years. And you meet somebody, you hope they're in the same mind frame as you. But so pressed about it at this point, no, because I feel like now my life is, I've raised a daughter. And like I said, the last fiance, I didn't think that was going to happen like that. And now I'm like, oh my God. And I watched Kevin Samuels before he passed. I watched a lot of the bigger YouTubers. I watch all you guys. And I feel like, yeah, a lot of y'all stuff you guys say is on the money. A lot of the things you guys say is true. And sometimes I be like, dang, that's jacked up, but they right. Some of it I don't agree with, but some of it's right. And it's hard in these streets. It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's it's almost like that's why some people go to the other side and go another race or
Divesting, or they decide to date the same sex.
I can't do that.
You can't do that.
I like men.
So is marriage out of the cards for you, or are you still?
I can tell you what is out of the cards for me. There are no more babies coming up out this body. That's a definitely no. So I won't say no. 'Cause I mean, I've never been married before. So I would say I would want to be married. It's something I would like to, but if I don't, I'm not gonna go somewhere in the corner and die. But I would like to share my life with somebody. But I have to continue to build I'm gonna build because my company is called MEC Industries. So I'm building my company, and whoever I decide to get with is going to need to understand what that entails, and as being an entrepreneur and stuff like that. Everybody doesn't have that kind of mentality either. That's different, which is fine. You don't have to be with someone who has that mentality. You can be with someone who's a 9 to 5 person, and you be your entrepreneurial spirit as long as people are supportive. But the thing is, as long as you guys have the common goal of whatever the common goal is for each other, but you got to meet the right person for that to even be the case. But you got to be happy within yourself first before anything could happen.
For sure.
But when you go through things, it just puts things in perspective. So for me, I realized maybe it's not in the cards. I'd rather not get married and be happy than just to say, I'm married. I've gotten married 2 or 3 times and gotten divorced 2 or 3 times.
What does happiness look like for you?
Peace.
What is peace?
Being able to not have to argue with anyone, being able to just get up daily and smile and be happy and be able to pray and be happy that I'm another day of life. I feel I'm in great health. I'm in my right state of mind. My body's in great health. I can move because a lot of people are 51 and can't even walk, move, think. They don't make it. Because the other day I was watching somebody said she was 48 and she didn't look 48. I was like, "Whoo, I'm doing good." I was like, "Shoot, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord." So peace, being able to know that you have a God in your life and you've done right by your kids and you've done right by yourself. And you've done right in life for the most part. You haven't done anything intentionally to harm or hurt or with malice. And if I was to die right now, I know my daughter would be good, and I know I've done right as a mom. Because kids don't ask to be here, so I know I've done right. I know I'm not perfect, but I know I've done right as a mom. And I can say I've done right as a mom.
So looking back, because I'm listening to everything you're saying, and it seems like a lot of lessons learned. at the young age of 50. What advice, based off these lessons that you learned, because you covered a lot of stuff, would you give to that younger lady or that younger woman in her 20s that was around your age when you had these different changes that happened for you? What advice would you give these younger women in Atlanta, especially definitely in Atlanta for sure?
I would say to definitely live your life to the fullest in your youth. Wait to have kids. Wait to have kids until you are 100% ready. There's no need to have kids, especially nowadays, out of wedlock just to have a baby. No need to do that. Or to try to keep a man, hold a man because he has money or whatever. Get your own money. Get your own stuff together. Get your own career together. So just focus on yourself. Get your own stuff in order. You want to get your own life together. Put God first. Let God guide you in the direction and the path you want to go to. I really feel that's where you want to go. Don't let a man be your deciding factor of where your life is supposed to be. Put yourself first. Put God first, and then he will guide you on where you're supposed to go. And I think that will bring you the peace and the happiness where you're supposed to be.
Well said, Ms. Red.
Thank you. I think I'm going to be a poet. Maybe write a book or something.
Very poetic. So what do we have coming up? What future endeavors? You got the podcast. What else do we have coming up?
I have the Miss Red podcast show. We're on just a small hiatus because we want to bring on some quality guests, some quality content. So I was actually gonna film a couple of days ago, but I said, you know what? Let me wait because I want to try to get a certain guest on. So we're going to be going back to filming. We have a website, the MissRedPodcast.com. It's up and they're getting it up and running. I have a team of people that I work with. I have the Instagram that's always being updated. I'm going to be doing some bios on some celebrities that they want me to write on. I'm a phenomenal writer.
Okay.
I'm a really good writer. I am a really good writer.
I feel you.
I teach English.
Yeah.
So I'm a really good writer. So I'll be doing some bios, and you'll be seeing those. So hopefully you guys can reach, because I have a production company. I have Red Media Productions. So maybe you guys will need some of my services. I'm going to have my stuff on. I'll leave you all my stuff. So you can
It's going to be in the description.
It'll be in my description. And you guys can hit me up if you need any of my service. I have the studio, and we have services within the studio. I actually am also, I need you guys to vote for me. I got nominated to be on the cover of a magazine, Fabulous over 40 over, what is it? Fab over 40. I'm in the top 10. I think I'm 6th right now. And the voting ends for top 5 on Thursday. So the link will be in the bio. So you guys go in there and vote. You can vote every day if you want to, every 24 hours. And so I'm the only lady from Georgia that's on this contest.
Nice.
Yeah. So everyone's over 40, and it's worldwide. Yeah. So I'm on that, and there's a couple shows that I'm hoping that I'll be getting that are coming that I'm in for, I guess you could say, that I hope I'll be getting those, as you'll see me on the big screen.
For sure.
So hopefully those will be coming through.
It sounds like you got a lot. We'll definitely have that in the description of the video.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Anything else you want to leave with, Miss Red?
No, I'm thank you for having me. I had a great time. It's so peaceful in here. I love the ambiance.
Thank you.
I'm all about ambiance. When I go out to dinner, when I go to places, I'm all about ambiance. So this has the perfect ambiance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm about peace too.
I know. The meditation, the peace, the tranquility. I love it.
Indeed.
Yes, it was great. I loved it.
Indeed.
So am I welcome back?
God willing. Yes, ma'am. It's definitely been a pleasure. I'm pretty sure everybody learned a lot, new on the scene for sure. The experience and everything that you shared and the wisdom that you definitely imputed amongst us. With that being said, guys, make sure you guys check out Miss Red's podcast. I'll have all her information in the description below for you guys to subscribe to the channel, Instagram, and everything else. And guys, this is another episode of the Atlanta Noire podcast. If you're in the Atlanta area and you're interested in being a guest on the show, make sure you click the link in the description below. Be happy to hear from you. And with that being said, you guys already know it's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. Let's run it up to 1 million and stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. Peace.